Hello, I am recording for the first time with the expectation of actually uploading it to be viewed since last year, I think. Or maybe last week was the first one that I was at least recording, expecting, with the goal of someone eventually watching and listening what I was saying, but today is the first one that I'm intentionally going to upload to my YouTube channel. Yeah, that's the thing. The one I recorded last week was a different sort, focused. I think it's going to be a different channel, basically, when it comes down to it. And this is for, with regard to creativity and art. And I'm recording today to express some things, ruminate really. And, I hope it's not too painful to listen to and watch. But I am taking advantage of the medium and practicing hearing myself speak when it comes down to it. Yeah, there are other places to do this, but I want to share this process with you and hope that it benefits you, because it's been very beneficial for me to identify certain people and their process, and I in turn, am in a seemingly very long process of learning what's inside me and my desire to express. There's a lot that I want to express. So we're talking, that was just all, prelude and preamble and disclaimers and all that. And my videos, that the two that are actually uploaded to the channel so far from last year, and then a few more that I recorded at the same time, but I don't know if I'm going to upload them. Anyway, those had a little more show with the tell. Today it's more tell. So I think in general I'll be doing a lot of showing artwork in various stages, and other things that I just find beautiful. Like we did a video where I shared some of my rock and or mineral collection, because those things are pretty inspiring just to look at. But then there are also just like textures around us and things we can start to stare at that can be inspiring visually. And so I am showing anyway, but there's not anything in my immediate vicinity that is personally examples of things that have inspired me. But hey, it all works in the moment, at least, yeah. And light too, I'm seeing some I like the variations, the shadows there. I can't really get. Anyway, there are always things around us to notice, even in the most industrial and less natural environments. I definitely enjoy the beauty of nature, but nature can be defined other ways as well, right? There's beauty in, like, I feel like if you look at any material itself, you can start to identify patterns and characteristics of that material that reflect something deeper and beautiful in its own way. Any sort of material. Yeah, because that's the thing. I've had this focus in recent months on sort of re-studying, exploring maybe a little further than I ever have, the basic elements of the universe, and everything is made up of certain things, right? And we all have at least a greater or lesser awareness of the reality that big things that we're looking at, big things that we are, big things that are around us are made up of much smaller things. But I like to slow down and apply my vision, to something which is challenging, just with regards to like lifestyle right now, that's why I'm being purposeful with this video, because it's very easy for me to feel inclined, feel like I don't have time to do things that are not like totally vital to survival. But that's not really, it's not really true. That, one, that's sort of a judgment of mine, that I have determined what things I have to do to survive, or that survival, like I've determined what survival is. Anyway, there's a lot there, right? It's loaded, and we can all, I think, relate to those dynamics of trying to figure out what we have to do, what we want to do, how do those things overlap, and should they always be the same? There's a lot of gradations, and we all face those challenges, and maybe especially those of us who have this desire to explore creative expressions, different forms, different mediums, and sometimes we don't even know what that is. Like, we just have this, this desire to move and to get something out, using our mouths, using our hands, using our bodies, movements. I mean, just there's a lot of different possibilities, and some of those avenues have been explored and some maybe haven't. But those challenges are common to us all on some level, but we each have to make our own choices, and each have to determine, we each have to find our own path, figure out those things. So even if the challenges are common to all of us, we still have to, no one else makes my choices for me. And I don't want that, but, I have to determine, so let me, so the whole purpose of this video and connecting with anyone is to figure those things out, right? Because one thing I have very seemingly gradually, slowly learned is that I am not made to figure those things out alone. And there is a God that loves me and has made me to explore all these different avenues to understand his love for me and how he's made me But so much of that is also, I think, revealed as I connect with others. There's great purpose in like saying, hey, I struggle with just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do day to day, you know, how to fill the hours and do what needs to be done. I mean, so like for me personally, I don't know what to do with open time in this season. I've been in past seasons where it seemed like that's all I had, and you know, I found a lot more time to explore. And these days, you know, it's a very different season that I'm in where it feels like there's very little time to explore creatively anything, you know. So I take the great liberty of using this video to cover a lot of different, I wouldn't say cover a lot of ground, in that I'm not going a great distance in any one direction. I'm covering a lot of distance by jumping around to things as they seem to connect to the thread that I just hear myself saying, you know. So I'm like, oh yes, that's probably important, and then it connects to something else. So hopefully you find it useful and not too disconnected. Hopefully you can at least giving you the opportunity to follow the connections I'm making, and that it seems worthwhile. It stirs your own thoughts at the very least. Because anything that I'm talking about seems to open up so many other doors and directions, you know. So as I go along with these videos, maybe I will, you know, they'll be more concise and clear, and maybe one topic will stay around and we won't venture outside of certain confines. But that's not where I am right now. That's not what I want to do with this just yet. I want to introduce you to my manner in this time, and thoughts that I have concerning not just a medium, not just the medium that I've explored, and not just the results, but all the different things that I certainly have to consider. And I trust that you, as a human being who have these desires to express creatively, you also have many other things that you have to consider in your life, right? And so how do those things relate to everything else? So that's something of what we're about with this. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that it was beneficial, and I hope that you'll come and watch and listen next time. And if you are happening to have watched this, that was not grammatically sound, but if you have watched this video and have any thoughts that you'd like to share, I would certainly be open to them if they are at the least sincere. All right? So comments, whatever, I welcome them. Thanks.